Good evening. Good evening, good evening. It took me a little while. Hello, for those of you who are new, my name is Stephanie. It's nice to see you. Thank you so much for being here and watching the recording. So I know I said that, 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Eastern. And surprisingly, it has been a while since I've jumped on and done a wave. Hi, all this energy. Um, alive. Alive. It's been a very, very long time because it took me 20 minutes to find the live button. I was like, where is this? But before we get in, tonight, surprisingly, I was feeling guided the past couple of days to just some messages coming in through my own experience and with the collective. And ironically, or not, synchronistically, today is All Hallows Eve, Chrissy! And so that means over here, Eastern Coast, up in the US, we have Halloween tomorrow. And the way I started pronouncing it in the car, if you follow the old, paganism, right? Honoring nature, Samhain. Let me know if I'm pronouncing it wrong. But essentially, that's what it is tomorrow. And I was feeling better today in terms of coming on live and speaking what was coming through, especially with this message. And so, going through, hey, happy birthday! Halloween is perfect timing then for this message for us. So if you've been following the stories and on my regular posts, and as I do this, I'm actually setting the intention right now to cleanse the space, because I actually started seeing that tonight's message and conversation is really also a way to honor going into tomorrow, for Samhain, for Halloween, right? And honoring not just the goddess in terms of the feminine archetype that we're going to be talking about today, but also the masculine energy, the god who at this point, essentially in paganism and Wicca. And why I'm bringing this up is because I tend to have a lot of earth energy that has guided me towards this message, and it all weaves together. And so with this feminine archetype energy, what started coming up, honestly, I started a podcast what was it, in September? And I knew that the next episode was going to be talking about death. I just knew it, because a lot of my messages that were coming in for me personally in my own experience was around death. And I'm like, okay. And so Halloween symbolizes the divine masculine going into the death cycle. When we follow the rhythms and flows of the seasons, we are preparing ourselves for the wintertime hibernation. And so Halloween, Samhain, right, is that special day where we begin to honor that. It's just, our ancestors, our medicine women. This is going to be the archetype coming out now. For those of you who feel that you identify with the medicine woman or man, right, the shaman woman, right? And this is where we're coming today to what I would say. It's not that we're putting to death the masculine. There's so many talks out in the spiritual community about this fight between the masculine and feminine, but really it's the way I was seeing it is, if we take into consideration the symbolism of Halloween and we put on costumes, we are shedding this masculine energy in terms of maybe shedding what needs to be released, because what we are going to be cultivating in the season and going into the winter is exactly what we're being asked to feel. Scorpio season, that's within us, that wants to be birthed. And if you're on the spiritual path and journey, right, what I was feeling is like what they would say, dark in terms of the hidden aspect of your feminine archetype in you that wants to come out. And this is the time that we're being called to, and I've been feeling it in my bones. I've been hearing the cries. It's like this pain of lifetimes that we've already experienced that keep holding us back in this lifetime now. And when I've been going through my own personal journey past couple of months too, but the way a beautiful friend mentioned it was that we're here in this present lifetime now, and we are living all the lines, all the realities, right, in this physical 3D manifestation. And a lot of times, if you do shadow work, or if you don't even know what that is, but if you go through your lows, what I call the pendulum swings, right? You have a moment where you might be feeling low, moments where you're feeling higher. If you're at that low, sometimes those emotions might not even really be, from this timeline. We might be carrying energy or stories from the past lives that we've lived, and we get to now be in this moment, in this present moment, and heal that through the experience, through awareness, through realizing, what mask am I still wearing, or have I not released from some other lifetime that needs to be shed, especially this season. Because some strong energy, I feel something big is going to happen for the next year. And so, as we come together tonight, I was feeling like this cry of your inner medicine woman. I'm going to start just listing some archetypes. If you resonate with the goddess, if you resonate with the shaman woman, if you resonate with, let me take a look here. The wild woman, if you resonate with the word witch, right? And again, you can also apply this to magician, right? Priest, priestess, wizard. Because I do believe it's not just limited to the physical woman here in this lifetime. And as I said before I started doing this, I'm actually just lighting a couple of things because I'm holding the space as I was doing a couple of months before, right before we moved into this house. And I'm just burning, holding the space that tonight helps to jumpstart anyone who's present here watching the live or the recording. Anything that we need to release, and you're welcome to do this on your own too, tomorrow, tonight, perfect timing because it's 10:30 here. And what I just burned was a basil leaf, and I also have dragon's blood right now, and so they help to release things that are considered like, not the word necessarily toxic, right, but the impurities. And when we work with energy in terms of nature, like this, in these essences, they help us reaching that spiritual realm. Star Dove is here with us. Oh my God. I want to take a moment to say thank you, because we have a whole bunch of people right now, souls, who have very strong energy in terms of their own light, in terms of their own archetypes. And so as I go through this conversation now, continuing on, I was feeling, or have you guys ever felt, where you identify with one of these archetypes, right? But there's like a feeling of shame or fear to proclaim that. And I, for the longest time, have always resonated with it. But it's like I had to hide myself in the closet. And it's funny, too, some people kind of say, oh, people who wear costumes, you're just hiding something. Well, that's from, I think, from the physical perspective, when you look at your reality from just a 3D. But if you've already embarked on your spiritual journey, I love it because I feel the way I work is I am putting on my robe, just like we used to do, right? In our priestess days, whatever lifetime or cultural dynamic resonates with you, right? Where we used to wear beautiful robes, we adorned ourselves, we put essential oils, right? Oils, jewelry. We have specific items that we carry to tap into this essence. And this is how you knew that when I walk the floor, the high priestess is coming through. Or the medicine woman who carries her bag of crystals, herbs, right? Or the witch. And those feelings, like I was saying earlier when I started this, those feelings of shame and guilt and fear, to express that in this lifetime now, because we're all called to, in some form or way, to share those gifts and translate them now with those who are needing the help, right? And I say help because there's still plenty of people who have yet to embark on that journey of awakening, right? Of knowing their soul's truth. And I'm just taking a moment. And so those feelings that you feel, shame, guilt, fear, etc., lists even, or even thoughts of like, okay, I see these messages, visions, downloads, inspirations coming forth of what my heart yearns to express in this lifetime. But when I take a moment, it's like I hold myself back, or, I self-sabotage, or I slow myself down in the process of expressing that. And the reason why is because we have this energy that's stuck, or thoughts and beliefs from just lifetimes ago. And we still carry that. But once we become aware of them, we can actually, in a healthy way, express that. So one example that I found that came up for me was a friend of mine, and I'm trying to light this right now, but a friend of mine was speaking on a course that I was working with her, and am working with her, is that the high priestess, the high priestesses back in, whether it be, in the Egyptian realm culture, right? Or if we think about the Greeks, the oracles, many women were taken advantage of for their gifts, were seen just as sexual tools. And so we carry on so much shame. And as I say this, because I went through it, and I was like, yeah, I was so afraid to fully express myself up to, and I keep working, I keep opening the doors and doing the best that I can to share my essence fully with you guys. So thank you so much for being here along the, ride in my transformation. But when she said that, it hit and it resonated in me, because I said, yeah, a part of me knows that I hold myself back big time with sharing what's wanting to come through. Oh, that I do work with the magic. I do work with spirit. And I've been guided to work in ritual and ceremony. And it's like I felt afraid to share that because of some sort of repercussion I was going to get now. But the moment I started kind of sharing my crystals at the gym, for example, people were not throwing rocks at me, and, what they used to call it, peddling or something, sticks on fire, like, go away. No, they were curious. And I have a selenite, beautiful crystal, and they were so curious. They were like, it was received. I was received and welcomed with love. And it all began with them, just sharing with the things that made me feel comfortable, to tune in, to speak out, to guide through a journey, meditation or yoga, moving energy. Or even in speaking, when people ask me, what is it that you do? Now, it's either people out who are not aware of this platform, right? And it's like I felt I had to dwindle it down, and I still didn't feel like I was playing to my truth. I'd say common terms, I'm a yoga instructor, but I felt like it wasn't the fullness of what I do, because I do more than that, right? And just taking a moment, Stardove says she had to hide her true self since she was a little girl. And only in the past few years has she been able to, let her light be seen. And you're welcome, Stardove. And this is why I know that the people who I didn't know who was going to come on here tonight. I was like, I don't know who's going to be here, but I know I'm supposed to speak, and whoever is meant to be here is meant to be here. So I know the beautiful souls who are here are of magical spirits in terms of this is resonating. And so it's like when we talk about shamanism and the shamanic, right, practitioner, medicine woman, we always say that we're walking on earth, this physical, ordinary state of consciousness, right? And then we are also walking at the exact same time in spirit, in the realm of energy. And we have to hold the space. And I feel that why I'm here tonight and to share this message and open this conversation is because we are meant to go forth, as my mentor says, crossing the threshold. And if you need to show your weirdness, which is not weird because it's what your essence is, you're here to display that. And however you want to express it in this now lifetime is entirely up to you. And so as I was saying, there's so much wounds, fear, storylines that we're still carrying. And if your desire, my desire has always been to express the high priestess. I always get my higher self, and you can see it in my name, that it took me a while to like kind of even go forth in passing the threshold and putting my name there. My higher self is divine cosmos, and I always get this essence of high priestess and empress. And the reason being is I feel that, again, it's to empower those that who come, honestly, a lot of the people that talk to me and come on this, journey and conversation of healing is to empower you to step into your power and your gifts. And because it's like we're hiding, like when you're in fetal position and you're curled up like a ball, that's essentially where some of us have been, and we still are. And we're needing that fire, and again, masculine and feminine. It's not destroying masculine and going like, oh, what a spiritual person, because I thought this too. I need to portray the spirit essence of a holy woman who does not curse, who does not like to show her body, feel her, her sensuality and be ashamed of that, right? And that's not true, because I'll tell you, if someone pisses me off, I have a fire in me. If you put me against the wall, I have a fire. I'm a warrior. And this is beautiful Abigail, energy light healing. She's one also who's been a big major part into this conversation about the high priestess and not being ashamed of your essence, right? Because we've been there, we've done that, but in this lifetime now, when you work with past lives, right, you go through the Akashic records, all of that, when you look into it, these are choices we've made or experiences we've had, but now it is our time. And here's my mentor, Stone Street Akashic. I knew it. Powerful people are coming through tonight. It is in the now, where we don't have to be chained to those old limiting storylines anymore. And so by taking and owning and surrounding yourself, oh, thank you. Amen. And surrounding yourself with the right people, the right collective, right? In terms of those people who are going to push you, that remind you of your light, right? You don't have to, my mentor says, I don't have to be afraid to hold my true self, because I am both on this plane in this physical form as Stephanie, right? As I, incarnated into this life form, right? And I also have my higher self. You need both. And that is that union, right? To live in this life. And I say, I before I met my mentor, I was feeling very I'd feel a lot. I would feel so much fear speaking with people out of my own sacred space, my own office space, interacting with other people who weren't as open in terms of these conversations, right? But I'm not afraid anymore, because the moment we started working together and I started seeing, I was able to have a space to voice how I honestly felt. And I thought I didn't have anyone else to listen to me. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to think I'm crazy. But he never judged me. He's like, that's how you identify. That's your essence, and you own that. How can you express that in this physical lifetime now? And the moment I started looking at it, how can I, materialize the spirit, spiritualize the matter, I felt so much more at peace. I felt more empowered. And it's only been a couple of months. And so something that popped up today as a reminder for us, it's where are you now, right? Because I know you know who you are in your essence, in your heart, because you have your visions, however you receive from your higher self, right? The spirit realm. You know who you are. No one can tell you no. No one can tell you, oh, you're not a high priestess. No, I am. You don't know. You don't know, okay? Because you don't know my connection between me and my higher self. So own that. But also, a real question, to be completely honest, and let's just be real, and this is something I was seeing, but it didn't click until this whole entire, 6 months plus. And then tonight is the night in terms of the shedding, right? The shedding that is necessary to step in to what I would say, describing it as, I write notes because my mind goes one way to the other, right? The shedding of, those old storylines, that part of you that we haven't made peace with and owned and accepted. accepted, being transparent, honesty. And when you find all three of those, and you honestly can look at yourself and say, I do accept you, which I've been saying to myself, I accept the part of me who is this high priestess in a sense. She wants to play with the magic, right? And interact with spirit. There's nothing to be afraid of. There is more peace. There is more union. And every single day, I started seeing more, just as they say, the moment you step into your truth and you own that, the universe, energy, right, however you want to describe it, comes forth and draws the right people, like tonight, the right circumstances in which the right doors are open for you to walk through, to go and show up and do that magic, to give the magic. Oh, Abigail says to give that magic that you have, the medicine that you have. And I've always resonated with those words. And so you can't go wrong when you truly embody your truth, your own message, your own medicine that you have. And the thing is to consider tonight, when you go in and do your ceremony, your own rituals, where are you in your life? Where are you not embodying your message? Because, and the best way I can kind of articulate this or demonstrate it is, I was looking at I have my own personal page to kind of keep the business apart from that. Business, it's really just me. Because I looked at my page, I was like, I want to go back and do cosplay. And cosplay is when we dress up in these characters. But we never really, like my sister says, half-ass it. The moment you dress up, you show up. And likewise, this applies to this. You know, whatever archetype energy that you resonate with, put on your garment, put on your crown, carry your crystals, carry your herbs, carry your magic with you, put it on. And the moment you do, you don't half-ass it. You say what you need to say, you do what you need to do, and of course it comes from the highest truth, because you know you're not, again, you're not letting fear block you. If you can sense the fear and it kind of makes you hide away, I wanted to demonstrate, so visual. It makes you hide away. This can't hide me, but, and shade you away. And it stops you from getting on stage. Thank you. It stops you from getting on stage. It stops you from showing up. It stops you from putting out the message that you offer such and such and such. Then you're not in your power. It's just something to think about. And so, a great, if you wanted to try and practice with this weekend, tonight, tomorrow, it's writing down every fucking limit that has been holding you back, every fear. And I shared one. Like, I was afraid to claim and say that I believe in magic, because who in my freaking spectrum here, like, does that? No one. Until I met, my mentor, until I met you guys. You guys understand me, and so I felt less afraid. I was like, oh no, I'm okay. Because we're really being called to step up in a more, one, authentic truth, right? But also bright, not shut our mouth and water down the message, not water down what you do. And the last bit of my message, with this whole death sequence thing, is that death is actually, one, it's not a scary thing. Death, it's just, again, it goes back to the conversation. We talk about seasons, we talk about honoring all these beautiful sacred holidays. We're honoring the sun, we're honoring the moon, we're honoring the seasons. Death is just a natural part of the cycle of life and transformation and growth. Now, in the physical aspect, yeah, we all will leave this physical body, but we all know that, so we're at peace with that, right? It's the soul, right? The true essence of you that keeps going. So you don't end. So there's nothing to be afraid of when you're being called to step up. And also to look at those moments of fear that come up for you as your own personal mini death. Because that's what they are. You're shedding these layers of storylines of fear, of energy, maybe resentment, anger from past lives or this here, you're shedding it. Let it go. Be okay with it. Let it come up. Like I said, I was receiving messages for since September, August about death, but also the past couple of days, I just felt like I wanted to share the message, but I had to wait because I was going through my own personal shedding. Sometimes you don't exactly know what that shedding is, right? Because the logical mind wants to go and theorize everything and, reference every single source like a scientific paper. But your spirit is aware, right? Your higher self is aware of everything. Just let it go. Let it come through you. Let it move through you. The aha moment, your higher self will speak to you. What you've gone through, what you released, and why it was needed now at this time, because it's going to carry you for the next season of your work. And just taking a moment, because I know sometimes when I tend to be like, is there anything else coming in? I tend to jump off. But let me honor everyone here for just being present tonight. Again, you're here, and I'm so grateful because I didn't know who was going to show up. And thank you so much for always being supportive. Thank you so much for always showing up and sharing your gifts, because you guys inspire me when I'm at my low and I need to, and I'm shedding some layers. And you really do. I know. And I always send, I make it my intention to send that towards you. And what's my background? My parents are from Guatemala, Central America. But I always resonated with the Asian culture. Always. So that could be obviously lifetimes, past lifetimes. Thank you, Chrissy. I will definitely check the messages. And yes, this is just another great, the moment you work with energy, honoring yourself, because it is just you in different forms, whether it's the goddess archetypes or you're working with beautiful nature, it's you. And when you come together, I was guided just to see it in the sense that it's such a beautiful way to honor, just like we come in today. And when I would do the lives and set up a virtual space for everyone to just join in, release what we need to release, create and write the intention for what we're wanting to have the courage and faith to go through, right? That energy is amplified even more so because we're consciously doing it. We are making the intention and doing it now. We're not allowing old programs to step forth anymore and stop us, because we're aware of it and now we're putting a stop. And the more you honor yourself, the more you say yes to everything that your soul is calling you to step into and share, the more spiritual growth, right? And the more just everything alignment works together. And before I go, so the High Priestess healing sessions, I have them, they're coming differently. I set an intention and I'm just going to go with the flow. So I have these beautiful healing energy sessions where honestly, I have essentially, I'll show this one, like my own toolkit of different practices and things that, as an, Oracle, High Priestess, owning my own self, right? Everyone's different. I have people who have reached out with the 5 gifting sessions with different needs. Some wanted guidance when they wanted to seek the oracle cards, right? Oracle messages, just channeling, right? Asking their higher self, their spirit guides for assistance, for guidance, for clarity. I have people who resonate with the healing modality of yoga, moving and embodying your essence and you and feeling that, which I find yoga has helped me in terms of you have to love your body in order to draw the essence in and feel comfortable here, right? Reiki, and as well, shamanic journeying, if that's where we need to go into to help rewrite storylines at the subconscious or wherever spirit leads us in those sessions. And as I continue to evolve, because I'm always excited to do my own work to see where the divine guides me, my higher self, right? I always share that with everyone that I work with. And I just wanted to, that was essentially what I was guided to come in and own and share that whether it be one-on-one sessions or a 4 or 8 week guided, I like to say I'm a spirit guide rather than a coach. The word coach doesn't really resonate with me. So I work with spirit to see where it is that, as my mentor says, we are moving the energy to help you move forward, to get back into resonance, more at peace with yourself, right? Exactly where you are, where you're feeling called to go. And so if you have any questions around that, definitely just reach out to me. And I thank everyone, again, every single person, my mentor, and again, Abigail, everyone really is a teacher here because you guys have added into my own cup. And I hope to give back into yours as well. And if there's any more questions, definitely take a moment to write anything you want to say, any shout outs. I definitely want to say all is energy, because that's your screen name here. Happy birthday. And I pray that the divine goddess, the divine God, just bless you this beautiful year and guide you well in your own shedding, because it's necessary, right? It's part of the cycle for you to shine bright. And I really love you guys. And I'm so grateful that you guys joined me. For burnings, when you guys want to burn anything, I find that dragon's blood is something that has called out most recently. So you can go ahead and look into that. You can look into, just Google search if you want, dragon's blood meaning. And you'll see what dragon's blood aids in. Basil leaf for burning, like I said in the letter, right? Thank you. I thank you. We're going to talk. Burning the old. Burning what it is that you want to release. And just know the moment you light it, the moment you set that intention, we could talk about energy and how we work with that, why it's working, and what you do in your practice. And I love you guys so much. I really, really do. And I pray you guys have a beautiful, beautiful evening. And thank you for seeing me. And it means really the world for me. And I see you guys. Set now. And so here is a beautiful ending that I was trying to get this lighter to go. In Honor of Samhain, I'm lighting dragon's blood for us so that we may thoroughly cleanse out, remove any of those blockages that we are setting forth the intention. This beautiful Hallows Eve or tomorrow night when you do your ritual and work with the energies, your spirit guides, in preparation for the next season as we go into winter and be ready to be rebirthed in our next growth cycle in spring. And this also, I wanted to say that if you were on the live, you know that this week I went in High Priestess healing sessions where I'm feeling called to set them as 8-week spirit guided sessions. And I say spirit guided because I don't resonate with the word coach. I'm always doing my work. Everything I do is with spirit alignment, my connection to my higher self, spiritual realms. And what you'll be receiving is access to all the tools for the support as you transition into the new year, so that by springtime, by the new year, if you wish to continue after the 8 weeks, you'll be ready. You'll feel more confident, more empowered to step out as the archetype of divine feminine that you resonate with, whether that be witch, whether that be goddess, whether that be a mermaid or medicine woman, wild woman. And why the specific layout, right? It's because if you tuned into the video, I mentioned how I was feeling a sort of disharmony between the life and the ordinary, like what we would say, the 3D, the people you grew up with, the family, your culture, right? Paradigm, and what I really felt within my spirit, my own soul, and my own connection to my higher self, and what I really felt my heart has been yearning to break out and express and live my life as. And it wasn't until I got, working on myself at a deeper level with my own mentor that I started seeing. It was like, oh, how I could actually express myself as the high priestess in this lifetime now. And that is something I'm hoping to help guide the beautiful souls who feel called to this work. And I say it is work because one thing that Spirit has shown me and has always told me is that we have the assistance in the spiritual realm and the energies, right? We have the guidance, but we are the ones in charge who need to take the action, because we're the ones who came through into this lifetime and took form in the matter. And we know that the higher realms can't interact with the form, right? We're the ones who have to take the action. And so if you're ready and you feel like I can do this work, whatever it is I need to work through to get to that next stage for myself, everyone's different. We start exactly where you are, and we'll see how your journey evolves. And I say that there is no ending, because this life is a perpetual cycle, right? Until you leave this form in the physical sense, that is where you move on to the next other stage, right? But until then, it's all about the journey of expressing your divine feminine, your magical woman person. Right now, I'm feeling called to work with women because that's where I've seen in my own experience here too in this lifetime, oppression, shame, guilt, resentment for being me, for wanting to be me, right? Where the feeling is afraid to be me, right? And so if you have any questions, if this resonates with you at all, at any level, feel free to reach out to me. I'm a DM away, where you can feel free to email, divinecosmicjourney@gmail.com, if you want to be a little bit more detailed. And also, if you don't know already, I love voice notes. I'd love to hear your voice. And I think it's the easiest way to just go back and forth. The other thing too is my energy healing practices and tools are available on a one-to-one sessions. Feel free to reach out for that, for the information in terms of your energetic investment. And I pray that you guys have a beautiful weekend. Stay tuned for the rest.